All right, good day, and you're welcome to the show, the retirement show. Can we meet you, please, ma'am?
Thank you for having me. My name is Ekaite Omo, General Manager, IBOM Leadership and Entrepreneurial Development Center. We call it IBOM LED for short in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. And I'm sure you're curious to know what IBOM LED
Yes,
is.
exactly. I'm waiting to hear that.
IBOM LED is actually the idea of His Excellency, the Governor of the state, who is a businessman himself, and
Sure.
he decided he wants to have a transformation in the industry, the entrepreneurial landscape in Akwa Ibom State. He wants to deepen entrepreneurship so that it generates employment, to reduce the unemployment line in Akwa Ibom State, and training people to do better businesses has been their way of doing it. And IBOM LED is the core, is an institution doing that. It's a vehicle handling that capacity building in the state.
Okay.
Yes.
So, do you do that outside of the state as well, or is only for Akwa Ibomites?
Oh, no, certainly not. You'll be surprised that just a few weeks ago, less than a month ago, ASCON came to use our facility to train some permanent secretaries and directors in the state. And His Excellency also sponsored people to be trained in our flagship program called Entrepreneurial Accelerator Program, where
Entrepreneur
accelerator program, where we train people on how to run business and teach them just the basics of business management, bookkeeping, personal business, financial planning, research about your product. Do you have a market before you start a business, or is it because someone else is doing the same thing and you think that this person is succeeding, so you should start? I mean, so many things, negotiation, collaborations, all of those things they are taught in that program. So His Excellency has sponsored 1,200 people so far. And I'm very proud to say that they are making us proud in Akwa Ibom State with the drastic transformation in their business capacities, from being small businesses that were not even confident enough to tell people about what they were doing, to now going all over. I mean, one of them was in Abuja, the other one has gone to some African country to pitch. Wow. So these people have benefited from that training. So that's the idea. Have IBOM LED, ensure that the economic landscape in Akwa Ibom State is transformed through having varied, thriving businesses, so that the unemployment is reduced, the GDP of the state is boosted, and then taxes. Because these people, if they're doing well, they'll pay taxes, of course. So that's the whole essence of that. And then this is in line with the Arise agenda of His Excellency, which is to boost all aspects of the economy, from agriculture all the way down to education.
Okay, how does this Arise agenda suit nicely to retirees or for retirement planning?
Okay, so Arise agenda is just the Arise agenda is the framework that the government is using to work with. So that is a guideline. So there's something like agriculture, which is the A. So if you enter into agriculture, sadly, agriculture is associated with old people. That was then.
But now you say sadly.
Yes, but now we know that without agriculture there will be no food. Correct. And so now agriculture in this Arise agenda is looked at as a business. And in other countries like the Netherlands, some of the richest people in Netherlands are farmers. So
even South Africa.
So that's what we want to bring into Akwa Ibom State. So when a farmer is retiring, the farmer will retire right. And so retirement is in everybody who has worked, whether in government or outside government, because the alternative to retirement means death. That means the person died before retirement. Good. So retirement fits into the Arise agenda very snugly. Nice. Yes.
Okay. Now, sometimes a lot of people retire without actually having a plan, most importantly on paper, before they retire. So when they retire, they run into this confusion as to what do I do next? Where do I go from here? What would you tell these kind of persons? What can they do to see that they have a plan in retirement? And you may want to put this as well, in addition to that, when is the right time to actually start planning for retirement?
I would say that the best time to start planning for retirement is the minute you start to work.
Because the minute you start working.
Yes.
Very good. Correct. Go ahead, please.
Yes.
I like that.
Because once you start work, I mean, when you start work, typically your energy is high, you're young and vibrant and all of that. But there'll come a time you will be unable to compete with those people you were defeating in the work field. So you have to make provisions for that. Is nature taking its toll on you as a human being?
Correct.
So you have to start planning at the beginning, because retirement doesn't happen on anybody. If you're alive, you will retire from whatever you are doing. So the best time to start, just to answer your question, is at the beginning. And the next one is planning and all of that. If you don't plan, I mean, that's popular saying, you fail.
You fail.
So what I tell my clients is, I just do PPT. Plan, prepare, thrive. If you don't plan, you don't prepare, you won't thrive. That's the bottom line. And retirement, just like any phase of life, requires planning, requires preparation, and then you will thrive. Obviously, if you do those three things in that sequence.
Brilliant, brilliant. That's a good one. Now, looking at investments, what areas of investment would you think will work well for retirees? What do you think retirees can invest in that they can have good returns? Because a lot of people retiring in this point of confusion, what do I do now that I'm retired? What would you tell such person?
Okay, I said you should plan retirement from the day you enter a job, a vocation, or whatever you're doing. So it will depend on the individual. What is your risk appetite? But honestly, if you start planning early, you will know what you are capable of doing. So that those are the investment tools that you go into. Because I can't sit here and say start a business after retirement, because that might just be the worst thing to happen to you, that person. Then person B might be a person who's ready to take risk even at 65 and says, look, I like the adventure of going into business, so let me go into business. So there's no one size fits all, but for individuals, plan to know that your energy will wane, you will retire. What are you going to do? And then you don't want to run out of money before your life ends.
Correct.
So you want to do something that gives you money consistently. And then you would have, so what we do with our clients, we do the calculations. What are the requirements? What are the financial requirements? Because that's very important. You don't also want to be a burden to your children and your relatives. So what are the financial requirements at retirement? Knowing that in retirement, health challenges may come up, and that might require a lot of money. So you make provisions for that. So when you make those provisions, you ask yourself, what tools will I use to make sure that I can have X amount available when I retire? I'm comfortable. I'm not praying for somebody to come and give me money. I'm able to take care of my basic needs when they arise. So that's the way I will look at it. Yeah,
that's a good one. I met this woman here in one of our retirement workshop, and she said the office just sent her here. She doesn't know why she's here. That she had 5 children already, and she's retiring, and they will take care of her. What would you say to such ideology?
Okay, well, I mean,
that my kids are there. I've trained all of them. They are there. So why am I struggling? They will take care of me.
Yeah, well, I suppose she's fortunate to have children who will take care of her.
Yes.
Because there's some parents who are not as fortunate to say what she said. I mean, I've come across parents that the children abandoned, didn't take care of them.
Yes.
And even when you call them, I mean, I have a friend who works in the healthcare sector. And one time a parent was unwell. In fact, the parent died. And they called one of the children, and he said, no, call the other one. So this woman, she's fortunate. She did a good job with her children. But at the same time, you don't want to burden your children.
Yes.
So do the much you can do. The children will do what they want to do.
Because they also have their own challenges now.
Oh, yes. And the world has really changed. Before, maybe 30 years ago, it was easy for you to take or want to take care of parents. But now a lot of things have happened. So many demands on the meager resources. So you don't want to, like I said, put too much burden on your children. It's important to plan for yourself. If your children help, and I'm certain that most children want to do good for their parents, because the parents sacrifice for them. I mean, my parents sacrificed for me, so it would be nice to do something for them. But don't let your whole essence of retirement be based on the fact that your children are going to take care of you. And also hope that your children marry right, because that's another issue. Sometimes, I mean, I'm speaking because I've experienced some of these things with some of my clients. The children may have the willingness, the capacity to want to help their parents, but the spouses don't allow it. So what happens in that instance? So that's also something to look at. But in all, I would say plan for yourself, but when your children do their bit, that would be fantastic. Yes.
It becomes additional benefit for you.
Yes.
So which therefore means that you will not say that the children are my retirement plan.
I think that was valid many years ago. It was valid many years ago when parents said that. But with the way things are now, I think that it will be a huge risk to say that, to rely on that, to rely on your children as your sole retirement plan. It will be a huge risk because there's so many things taking away from people's finances. So it's will be a risk.
Yeah, I totally agree that it would be a serious risk for people to rely on that as their retirement plan. Let's talk about health in retirement. You highlighted health here. So let's talk about health. There are people that actually have these inherited health concerns. Maybe BP, my father had BP and now I am having BP, or I may be having the possibility of having, or the chances of having BP. What would you tell people that are preparing for retirement? What do you think about that?
Okay, you know what? Your health at retirement is a reflection of how you spent your other years.
Pre-retirement.
Yes, it's how you spent your other years. And one of the simplest things, and I've seen countless researches and studies that shows that if you're physically active, doing exercise at least 3 times a week, it might sound like it's too little. Maybe that's why it's difficult for people to do it. But if you just do that simple exercise 3 times a week, 30 minutes a day for each of those 3 times, you reduce your chances of having many of the lifestyle diseases that are prevalent now. And that's the best way to ensure that your health. I mean, how would it feel for a person to retire and be a burden to others, or even you as a person to constantly be visiting the hospital? So the best thing is to take care of your health is to start from when you are still young, when you are not unwell, because that's not when you can do it. The best time is to start when you are at work, do what is necessary. Some people have gym membership that their companies pay for them, but they never visit the gym. Some people have health club membership, but they don't go. But the best time to take care of health is before, because those lifestyle things would come. Most of these things that we say are inherited are actually lifestyle related. If you look at it critically. Yes, look at it critically. They are lifestyle related. So take care of your health, because we deteriorate as humans normally. But if you have strong health, because you had strong protocols of exercise while you are working, chances of you...
Your diet.
Yes, everything, your physical movement, what you eat, what you drink, and where you go to. And also the fact that you have community, because some people retire and they're in one place, they don't interact with people. Social interaction is one of the things that has killed some people because they didn't have social interactions. I remember when I was in university, there was a man on the street where we used to pass to go to school. He retired as a very senior person in one of the arms of military. And every morning they'll bring him out to sit. It wasn't a long time before the man died, because I didn't understand it then, but now I see that he honestly didn't have interactions with people. He was just on his own, and it wasn't too long after he died. So social interactions are community, being with maybe your children, grandchildren, your friends. That's why at that time people go to clubs, all of these clubs, they go and sit there, eat, drink. It's not because they can't eat and drink in their homes. It's for that community. That's one of the things that keeps people awake and
alive. So as we're talking, I'm just thinking of Old People's Club. That would be an interesting one.
Yes. Set up one.
No, people can do that in a Bible.
Oh, fantastic. We are welcome.
Old People's Club, so that old people can come and jam to old.
But we'll call it a nicer name.
Whatever name. So I can come and jam to old school music.
Yes.
That would be a good way of creating connection.
Yes, it
amongst retirees.
Yes.
Finally, thank you so much so far. But finally, would you want to recommend Uyo or anywhere in Akwa Ibom as a retirement destination.
Oh,
I'm retiring
fantastic.
soon. Do you think I should be to
No, you don't look like you're retiring soon. Oh, no, everyone is welcome to retire to Uyo. But not just retire to Uyo. Come and do business in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Not only Uyo, Akwa Ibom State has other cities. And the good thing about Akwa Ibom State is that the roads are fantastic,
Yes.
and they're all well connected. So all the cities in Akwa Ibom State are interconnected. I mean, within an hour, you can go from here to there, here to there. It's so beautiful, and Akwa Ibom State is so scenic. It's a coastal state. Sometimes I just go to the beach, and it's just it's so refreshing. It just brings you back, and it's also inspiring. I'm saying this maybe because I'm from Akwa Ibom State, but also because I have been to other places, and Uyo stands out, in my opinion. Even before I got this opportunity to be in Ibom-led, once in a while I'm given an opportunity in a committee to organize an outing. I take it to Akwa Ibom. I mean, I remember many years ago, I was in the National Exco of an association, and I was chairman of the retreat committee, and I was asked to take it to any city in Nigeria. Of course, I took it to Akwa Ibom, and I made it so much fun and the people enjoyed Akwa Ibom so much that some people came back with their spouses and children for the Christmas.
It's actually trained to promote your states.
Oh no, it is natural because it is so.
Like me from Akwa Ibom want to promote this.
Oh no, it's the truth. In fact, just in April, I brought a group of women to Akwa Ibom State. Some of them are coming back.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
Yes.
All right, a good place to bring it to an end. Thank you so much. And our interest here is to ensure that we talk to people that are retiring or that are still serving on how to start thinking of retirement, because it's a stage in life and you cannot leave that stage void. You cannot leave that stage without actually planning for what you're going to be doing in that stage in life. I want you to share this podcast, like this podcast, also comment and tell others about this podcast. Thank you so much, and thank you for coming.
You're
God bless
welcome.
you. Yeah.
Thank you.